Hello everybody, this is the Retro Bear welcoming you to a first of 3 special videos to tie up pre-Christmas stuff for 2021 entitled Renovating with Retro Bear. Yes, now as most of you will know, my collection has expanded itself a huge amount over the last couple of 5 years, probably. A couple of 5 years, it seems like it's been an awful long time. But yes, since the construction of the gaming pantry, from where I'm talking to you now, my collection is overspilled into a second room. And quite frankly, Mrs. Bear, completely within her right, said, look, you've got to get this sorted out. We can't keep going on like this. We've got to get this room sorted out. Now, we have a second bedroom, and the purpose is to turn that second bedroom into half a bedroom in case we have visitors, and also the other half of the room to be turned into an area for me to put the majority of my collection that isn't going to go and stay in the gaming pantry. It's meant an awful lot of moving around and sorting out and renovating, etc. So this video is going to give you an overview as to how we got there. The 2 subsequent videos will be videos, and it'll just be stuff I've taken on camera at certain points during the construction of that room, putting it all back together. This will then culminate in a 4th video at the start of next year sometime, which will be a room tour type scenario where I'll give you a quick whiz around the pantry and a final whiz around the other room as to where everything's landed and what everything's set up. 'Cause there's still a bit of tidying up to be doing there at the moment. It's still not 100%, but hopefully over Christmas I will have a time to do that. So what we'll do, let's bring up the first picture. So the first picture, this was what the room used to, this is what the room used to look like. This was probably taken, look on here, this was taken in 2019. This is October 2019, believe it or not. Didn't start renovating then. It's just the oldest picture I've got. Now, as a couple of people who visited me will know, it was a lot more out of control when they saw it. I think it's probably telling a lie. This was probably about 12 months before they saw it. But as you can see, there's a cupboard which on the left hand side will be full of clothes, on the right hand side will be full of consoles and games and gaming paraphernalia. You've got the little stack unit, the grey stack unit, which is full of Commodore 64 tapes. You've got those 4 crates which are full, I think of, you can see maybe Master System at the very bottom. There's Amiga stuff in there, there's PC stuff in there, there's DS stuff in there, it's all sorts of things. Obviously you see some tooling and things looking around. It's basically just dumping everything in the corners of CRT there, which has been moved since then as a PlayStation 3. And in the corner, all the peripherals stacked up in that big box. That's where they all went into. You can see the layout of the room, also the colour scheme as well. I'm not responsible for the colour scheme. The colour scheme, it's my old parents' house where I live now. That's my dad's wallpapering from about 20 years ago. And that carpet on the floor there has been there since I was a teenager, because that's my old bedroom. We had a big bedroom in the house, and then my sister took over that, and then now I live here on my own with Mrs. Bear. That's what it looks like. So as you can see from picture number 2, this was taken, there's no date. This was taken just around the time we were starting to clear. We cleared all the room out and start to clear this wallpaper off. Now the problem with the wallpaper is it's vinyl wallpaper. Here's a bit of advice for you if you're ever getting into decorating: don't use vinyl wallpaper. It is a pain in the arse, because it either comes off in one great big sheet or it comes off in 1-inch squares. It's absolutely ridiculous, and you can't steam it off because underneath that there is backing paper. So my dad, when he redecorated, put backing paper around the wall and then put vinyl wallpaper over the top of it. So this involves needing a steamer. I had to scrape all this off initially, peel it all off, and then steam the backing paper off, which is really annoying. But we've cleaned the room out. This is probably August, September 2021 now. So that picture we saw originally was 2 years previously. This is now the room is empty. So let's move on to the 3rd picture. It gives you an idea of what we could. So you can see here on the wall on the left-hand side facing you now, you can see that that has all the backing paper taken off. So that is just the painted wall there, which is like a nice pink colour. And on the right hand side you can see that's another one with all the paper been taken off that, and that is like a nice cream colour. But obviously this all needed cleaning down as well, so once it was all steamed off, you then had to wash the walls down because there was a glue left over from the residue of the steam. So you're taking vinyl wallpaper off, rip it, then you're taking off the backing wallpaper, steam it, and then you're going around washing the walls afterwards. You can see the top corner there, just a little bit peeling off of the ceiling wallpaper. That just needs sticking back down. It was just due to age, it's been up there long, so we repainted the ceiling, and we left the original paper up there as well, just to give you an idea on that one. As you can see what about the vinyl wallpaper, this is the corner of the room, which was getting a bit cold, a little bit of a damp on the top there, but it's not actual damp, it was just black mould where the wallpaper was. So, because that's quite a cold corner of the room by the window. We've sort of, way we've done it now, adapted to get more air into it, so it should be okay. But there's no sort of damage to the paperwork or the ceiling or anything like that. It's all cleaned off, no problem. But it's a difficulty with the vinyl wallpaper. You can see there, that's why it's been pulled off, because of the jagged edges pulling it off, and it just doesn't come off very easily at all. It's a real pain in the backside. Don't use vinyl wallpaper. Just some evidence to sort of say I have been hard at work. Here's the Retro Bear steaming, as you can see, using some sort of steaming device. It's showing some crack there as well at the back. I think I've pulled my pants up, I think that's the other thing. But yeah, shot at the back of my ball patch as well, and taking a well-deserved break, the cup of tea. Why have I got the reindeer hat on? Well, one, because there's a photo opportunity to put the reindeer hat on, but two, more importantly, is sanding the walls, because obviously once the walls have been stripped, they now had to be sanded down and then filled. So as you can see behind me there, you can just see little dark patches. That's where the filler's gone in as well, so we've had to do that. Then wait for that to dry, then sand that as well at the same time. So really just to protect my thinning hair. But yeah, you know, it's now after we'd done that, the room was painted. We've done the skirting boards, windowsills, everything's been repainted. So again, sanding those down, glossing those, all been taken care of. The room was then painted, the ceiling was painted. We moved the light in the room as well from towards the window back towards the middle of the room to try and evenly distribute light with the new light fitted. That was quite easy actually, because it just required going into the loft and just moving the light fitting hole about 5 foot back towards the centre of the room, just poking that through and then running the wire, so it wasn't overly difficult to sort out. And then the room was painted a different colour, and then we had new carpet as well, which was even better. Now those will be a bit more detail on the video, on the first video, but I'll just show you a shot of the finished article. So there we go. Now look at how different that looks. It's hard to believe it's the same room, isn't it? Yeah, really, I just you know, amazing. The paint we used was from B&Q. I think it was a Hamilton. It's called Hamilton. And we were debating for ages about the colour of the room. We wanted something which was we did buy a lighter colour, more like a chickpea colour, and we felt that was probably going to be too light and not quite what we wanted. So we wanted a darker feel to it, but obviously not too dark. And as you can see with the light coming through the window, it's not actually too dark at all. The carpet was probably the best buy of the lot during this. This was an offcut from Carpetright. The room itself is 11.8 down the left-hand side by 12.2 across the back. And they'd got a piece of carpet which was 12 by 12.2, so it would fit pretty well, pretty damn good. And I think we paid, I think it was the carpet was up at 149 as an offcut, but they said if you took it away that day, they'd only charge us 110. Now because we didn't actually take it away that day, but he did actually do us the price and that, so 110 because that carpet, it's a really nice thick pile one as well. It's probably too thick because the door, which was on the frame here, on the right hand side, was got to be had to buy some hinges, different hinges for it, so it lift up and hopefully slot in and not cause too much trouble. But this is a really thick pile carpet. It's going to take a little bit of looking after. It needs a lot more care and attention to the vacuum, but really we're not going to be using that room a huge amount. But it's really, really nice now. Lovely luxurious carpet. Definitely a bargain to get on that one. Considering the carpet you could have got, which was basically just a strip of fabric on some backing paper, which I think for £7 a square metre would still have cost more than this. Yes, the grips and the fitting, etc. cost this. I think the actual carpet itself went in for about £3.80. That's the carpet, the fitting, the grips, etc. going around the outside. So, and I think the guy when he fitted it didn't charge. I think he took a tenner off or something. He didn't charge us the full whack. So we didn't do too bad. We probably saved about 50 quid on that altogether. Not too bad. But yeah, it just gives that nice, luxurious feel to it. It looks like a real class quality room now. Let's move on to when the stuff arrived to fit the cabinets in, because obviously cabinets are going into the corner of that room. This was on the Saturday, which was the 6th of November, which is the first day of my week off work. And this was all the stuff that was delivered at 8 o'clock in the morning by IKEA. Not the bed, because that was moved. That's where we've had to put the bed downstairs while that room was being done. But as you can see, lots of boxes down here, and these were bloody heavy as well. That long tubular thing there, that's a plinth, I believe. And then there's shelves up here on top of the bed. So all that stuff was delivered smack bang on 8 o'clock on the 6th of November. There's a lot of confusion at the time, lots of arguments going on, confusion. A lot of arguments at the time about the fact that I was taking way too long to order this stuff and we weren't going to get it in time. The cabinets I've ordered and we've used were always available in stock, so there wasn't really much of a panic on that. If I'd gone for the Billy bookcases or the Kallax, I'd have not got the stuff in time. They weren't available when we started looking at it, and they sure as hell weren't available when it came to ordering them. So we ordered these. Now, it's going to surprise you a little bit as to why, and I'll explain as we go along with to go through the pictures as to why those particular cabinets were ordered. This was dragging all the stuff out of the store. Now, what you can't see to the left at the moment is the finished product, because I'm not going to show you that, but this is a collection of all the stuff that I had in storage. So this was the stuff that was in the corner of the room, which was all boxed up in boxes and wardrobes and whatever. All this was in storage for about 3 months. It's probably cost me it's sort of August, September, October, start of November. It probably cost me something in the region about 350 quid to store all this for the time we took to get this sorted out. And again, my own fault. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was proactive on this, because I bloody wasn't. Mrs. Bear really has dragged me through this, and if it wasn't for Mrs. Bear and her enthusiasm and determination to get this done quickly, we probably would still be sat there at the moment. But yeah, I learned a valuable lesson here. This cost me a lot of money. It'll take a little bit while to recoup that, but yeah, so you can see all the stuff there. What you can't see is behind the bed, and there's that's just piled of boxes, just boxes all the way into the corner of the room there. We just took out the store. It's amazing. On the left hand side you can see a television's appeared. That's a TV I got from work for nothing. I'll explain a bit more about that in the videos, but yeah, it's a 42-inch Panasonic plasma on a stand, which when it came out in 2006 brand new was about £2.5 grand. We got it at work on a part exchange, but a customer didn't want it anymore. And a new TV, you can get rid of it, and sales manager was going to chuck it out. He said, I can't sell that. He said, no one's going to buy it. And I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, I'll just chuck it out on the scrap. I said, you can't do that. So I asked my engineer in the workshop, I said, give it a run through. I said, give it a test, see if it works fine. He said, yeah, it works absolutely fine. He said, well, if nobody wants it, I said, I'll have it. So I got that for free. Well, I got it for free. I'd have it delivered by one of my engineers for a tenner, but even so. So that's going to be the main television in there. And like I said, it's not being envisioned as a room for usage, although we'll put some consoles on the stand and a DVD recorder on there as well, and possibly a set-top box, Kodi box maybe, something like that. So if I do feel the need, or Mrs. Bear feels need to spend some time on her own, then we can use that room and put the television on. But yeah, that's where that's going to go. That's why that's there. But as you can see, again, that grey paint, lovely looking walls, isn't it? But yeah, a lot of stuff was down the store. So, as you can imagine, and that was about 3 trips, I think it was. 9th of November, something like that. That'll work. So, let's take a look at the construction of some of these cabinets, which I'm sure you want to hear. And you can see Mr. Bear is busy at work, yes. Now, the cabinets I've got here, these are not what you would envision as standard storage. These are actually storage cabinets. These are actually kitchen cabinets. These are designed for going in the kitchen. Why have I chosen kitchen cabinets to go in the bedroom? Well, the reason being is that they have doors on them. You can just see behind me that little grey strip sticking out from behind that white cabinet is actually a door. So as these are going to sit in the room here, and as you can see where the sun is on the wall behind me to my right but your left, you will see that there's some sunlight coming through. So having the doors on there just keeps the stuff in there. And like I said, this is purely for storage. This isn't going on display, this is just for storage. So we felt it was best to do that, and it doesn't overtake the room so much. And this is it. We can have 2 cabinets down here and 4 running down this wall on the left hand, on my right. And then the other side of the chimney breast, which is on the far left, far right of the picture, there will be a wardrobe which will fit in there, and then we'll have 2 cabinets by the side of the bed. So as you can see, these are what they are. They are kitchen cabinets. Now the only problem this has given us is we've had to screw this one going into the alcove onto the back of the wall, because the wall chimney breast isn't straight. As you can see down that chimney breast, there's a big gap. yeah, that's a house. It's nothing to do with my building or our building or anything like that. Also, I'm going to see where people will say, well, hang on a second, you've got a strip there. That door is stuck behind that door. How are you going to open it? Well, we knew when we put it together that was what's going to happen. So as long as there's a door on the right-hand side of the above my head on that strip there, that white strip, as long as there's a door there, I can get in stuff in and out there quite comfortably. So yeah, I know what people are going to say. Oh, you've really cut that up. No, I haven't. That's what I was left with. You know how to put a Kallax or a Billy or something in there? It probably wouldn't have fit the same hole anyway. So this probably took the best part of 2 days. There we go. There's the finished thing. So everything's there now without the cabinet. So as you can put the doors on. So everything's gone up. Coming down the wall behind me was a lot easier. Although, again, there's a little bit of a gap at the back of the wall. The cabinet's there at the very end of it. But we've managed to screw those again into the wall. Has gone very, very well. And it went up quite easily in the end. It was dead straightforward. I think this went up on, I think we started work on the Saturday. So when the stuff arrived from Ikea on the Saturday, which was the 6th, we got the 2 in the corner in, and the 3 in the corner, and then the Sunday everything else went up. So it didn't do too badly. And I'm quite proud of my efforts there, you see. Quite proud. And then as you can see, this is what we're measuring the whole purpose of the need for these are. So as you can see, I'm pointing right there at the Xbox. So this is the idea that this fits 2 perfectly games on top of each other, the DVD cases, and they will go back. There will be a row behind that. Now each row will probably be something in the region of about 20, 25 games maybe. So you're thinking I could probably fit 80 to 100 games in a section like that. Same with the tape stuff as well. In fact, the tape stuff's even better because you can get 5 rows of 20. So I could have 5 rows across the bottom, 5 rows. So that's 200 per section. I've got a lot of those tape games. So this was quite key in putting it all together, where we could actually put stuff. I keep saying we, where I could actually put stuff in relation to where the shelves wanted to go, and they can be moved around quite comfortably. Storage. This little one here on the right hand side where the tapes are is actually a smaller cabinet. If you go back to the previous picture, I've got 360 wide, 180 wide, which is the one in the corner with the door stuck behind one of the cabinets, and the 140 on the very far side by the chimney breast. But that's ideal for the tape games, and you'll see those on the videos when we go through them. You'll actually see just how it is, and those are the doors. So there we go. The doors were brilliant. I've not done a lot of renovating recently, but the doors were absolutely brilliant because they just click on. Everything clicks on. You put the hinges in there, they fit in the holes, click, you fasten them on, and then they just clip onto the brackets. It's so easy. The doors went up so quickly. Whiz those up. They're a nice glossy feel to them. They're self-closing as well, because obviously they'll be kitchen cabinets, they self-close. Each cabinet's got a foot underneath, 4 feet on each one to balance it. You can see where the cabinet's been laid out. We've got a little strip running around the middle, just below my waistline, around my waistline, which is ideal for where I'll put some loose cartridges, my handheld stuff, little things like that. You'll see that on the video as well. And a lovely glossy finish. The only thing we haven't got on the doors is handles, and I realise I still need to sort those out. So that's really quite proud of that. It was very straightforward, very, very few problems, and that was what he's looked like. There we go. And you can see the colour scheme is pretty good. We were really happy with that. Everything worked out quite nicely. When the sun's on them, they sort of have like a bluey tinge to them, so it just lightens the room a little bit. So it's not too dark. With the carpet and the walls, it works brilliantly. So we've got 1, 2, 3 right behind me. You've got that big one in the corner, which is a double one. There's a 60 there by my left hand, and then obviously that small on the right hand side. So everything that was in that corner of that room there is now, and more, because there's stuff from elsewhere, is all in there or on top of that, as you will see on the video when it goes out. And as you can see here, I've already started, and this is how it's going to be. And again, you will see this more on the videos when they come out. So as you can see over my right shoulder, I've got PlayStation 1 collection in there. That's all my PlayStation 1 stuff there, which was on about 3 shelves in the gaming pantry. And it still gives me a little bit of space to collect some more 4. I'm a little bit worried about my Xbox collection, which is just below me on the right hand side, because that's nearly full. So my original Xbox collection may not have much, what's the word I'm looking for, much time left, unless I plan on thinning it out a little bit more. I don't know. I may do, I may not. Over my left shoulder is where all the 8-bit stuff's going, and that's where all the Commodore 64 stuff is, over my left shoulder. And then below me, there's my Spectrum stuff down there as well. So as you can see, all that stuff's fitted absolutely brilliant. It's got to be sorted out properly. I can't do it. I know what people are going to say. Oh, you've put them behind each other so you can't see what they're. Well, whatever. I know what's there. I know where things are. That's how I'm going to do it. That's the only way I'm going to do it. And that's it. But pretty much, that is going to be it. There's no other way around it now. Like I said, maybe think a little bit more next year about doing the collecting. And one way to finish off. There we go. After a hard day's work, this was after putting up all the doors and the cabinets, vape in hand, having 5 minutes on the floor after we finished. So there we go. So yeah, that's it. So that's that video for renovating with Retro Bear, with a pictorial history of what we got to, how we get to. On the videos that are coming up, you'll be able to see a bit more detail about how things were put together and more description that include talking about the cabinets, talking about the carpets, and also where all the games have gone, and a quick brief whiz round the rooms as to the rest of them, which cupboard stuff's gone in, what plans there are for it. Hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have done, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tick that bell for further video notifications, and look out for those 2 videos which will crop up in a few days' time. In the meantime, this is the Retro Bear saying thank you very much indeed for watching, and do take care, and bye for now.